is Pamela-Whitt from Motivate Moms. I have the pleasure today of talking to Miss Leah Hoskin. She is an activity director. She's a mom. Y'all won't even believe she's somebody's grandmama too. But what we're going to talk about today is parenting old school and new school. By the end of this video, you should be able to walk away with some more parenting tips to put in your toolbox, and maybe you might pull one or two from our old school experience, okay? So, hey Leah.
Hello, Pam.
How are you?
I can't complain.
Yeah, I know that's right. Well, all that's going on, we cannot complain.
I won't.
So look, Englewood, man, one of the best neighborhoods to grow up in back in the day. Right? Woo, Englewood, loved it. Very different than today, but I think still has some of that same kind of old school community root that we used to have back then. And that is what I want to talk about, because when me and you were talking before, we were talking about how our parents interacted with each other.
Yes.
And I think everybody on the block remembers Miss Dabney.
Yes.
Like the eyes of the neighborhood.
That was my great aunt.
Yes. Miss Dabney got me in trouble a couple times, talking about I'm playing in the park and I was supposed to be at the store. But one of the important things I want people to remember, and I talk about this all the time in the parent program, is that when Miss Dabney would tell my mom, you know, there were 4 of us, and she'd tell my mom what we were doing or where we were or whatever, my mama never, not one time, went off on Miss Dabney, told her to mind her business, disrespected her or anything in any kind of way, because we had a parent community.
Right. It was a different time.
Yes, yes.
Time. I used to say that parents had eyes in the back of their head. No, what they had was a neighbor watching, like my aunt, she was watching out her back window. That's how she saw the park. The park wasn't in her front window. It was in her back window.
Yes, and she protected us.
And she stayed on the 2nd floor. So she had the entire view of the back park.
Yes, and she was concerned with the children of the neighborhood. She cared about us.
Yes.
And I think all the parents on the block just appreciated and respected that. And that's how I think most of us end up, you know, coming out functional and normal. And when other people see our neighborhood, they go, oh, you grew up in Englewood. My neighborhood was great. My neighborhood was awesome. You know, so I don't think people really realize that it was the relationships that the adults in the community had that made it good for us. Yes.
Without that communication, we wouldn't be who we are today.
I agree, absolutely.
You know, for me to consider cutting school for the first time in 8th grade, I had to consider my neighbors that was across the street from me, next door to me. That was a different time because I knew that my mother would not doubt their words.
Yes. Yes.
She wouldn't even came to me to ask, Leah, is this true? She just knew it was true.
That's right. That's right.
That's the difference. That is a difference between now. The parents today are so on guard about
and angry.
Anything that's said about their child, far as corrective criticism. They don't want to hear it. A lot of the morals and beliefs, if you know the great, not the great ones, the great grandmothers are gone. And those were our foundations. You know, who Tyler Perry bases the person Medea off of, that was someone who we all grew up around.
Yes, it was.
We all had a Medea. Aunt Ernestine was our Medea in our family.
Yes, my mama was baking them cookies, crocheting, everybody was coming over to the house.
Even though your mother, I must say, the difference between now and then, even though your mother have never, not one time, threatened me or was unkind to me, I still feared her from her look of her eyebrow, okay? Your mother, she would look at me, she may be crocheting, and she wouldn't say one word. She would look over at me, not forward, sideways, and cock her head slightly.
Yeah, she's still doing it, girl.
That right there said, oh, shucks. I'm about a second away from something I don't want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I had fear.
Yeah. And it was a healthy fear. It was a respect adults fear. It was a you not gonna get yourself hurt over here fear. It was a lookout, you know, that parents had with each other. And all they had to do was tell each other.
We had mental fear.
Yes.
Mental fear. That's another level that the parents today need to grasp. A mental fear. You don't have to beat your child if you talk psychologically and install a mental fear. Just
and control your emotions. Yes.
This is what my daughter told me this morning. She's at work and she said, Mom, you know, my son is, I'm 4'9". I'm barely 5 feet. My son will be 14 in August, and he's almost 6 feet, weighing 220 pounds. I said, baby, and he's only a freshman. I said, what's going to happen when he really tries you, when those hormones get outraging and he's 16? She said, I have started installing mental fear and told him, you know, I have a carry and conceal weapon. I have a carry and conceal card. And I'm not afraid to shoot you in your toe.
Yeah, it's
and
also
I will take
important.
You to the hospital.
It's also important, and I'm sure the parent that says that already has her communication tools in place.
Yes.
Where son has an established relationship and will not want to disappoint, will not want to hurt the feelings
the key
of.
Word.
Absolutely.
That is the key word. Disappoint. Disappointment.
Yeah.
That
and
is
that
a key
you
word.
Fill that up with making strong communication interaction with your kid. If they know they can come and talk to you, you're less likely to have to deal with, the discipline, the whooping and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not a spare the rod kind of girl, but you don't need it if you have communication and emotional stability where you can control your emotions and you can teach your children to control theirs.
I, as a mother, while raising my daughter, I always told her, you can have an easy life or you can have a hard life.
All in choices.
It's your
all in choices. Yes.
It's your choice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that
always a choice.
With that being said, I wanted my child to know me, not know of me. That's a difference. That takes communication.
Yes.
I often related whenever something happened in her life, I often related back to my childhood when I was her age when something happened, to let her know, baby, I'm human. I didn't come into this world perfect and a grown lady. I had to live and learn.
It's also a great way to establish a communication and an emotional connection with your kid, because you make them know I did that same thing. That's why I'm telling you don't do it.
I'm human. I'm not just going to point my finger at you and say, don't do this and don't do that. Look here, I did it. I did it. I'm telling you, I did it.
Right. Absolutely. So another point you made to me, which was so funny when we were talking, was I was saying, back in the day, grown folks had to leave the room. Kids had to leave the room when grown folks were talking. Now, before we get into it, hold on, because you're a little sneaky, but before we get into it, I'm going to preface it by saying, I'm a firm believer of that. I think that, we stress our kids out when they know every single little thing that we have to deal with. So I think it's always good when you're dealing with heavy conversation, when with your spouse, significant other kid, or whoever. I think it's good that, you know, smaller children or whoever shouldn't be privy to some specific conversations. But
Right.
tell you two what your little sneaky butt was doing.
Being an only child, that was my job, to master my parents and family members.
Ugh, that's every kid.
So
Oh.
I was very observant.
Mm-hmm.
I got tired of get on out the room, Leah, go, grown folks talking.
Grown folks
So
talking.
I developed a technique, because once you give an adult eye contact, that's saying something.
Oh yeah.
I didn't give any eye contact. I held my head down and I picked at my cuticles. And so I was invisible. I didn't cough, I didn't sneeze, I didn't grunt. I just kept focusing at my cuticles. Once the conversation stopped, I still wouldn't give eye contact. I would get up and look downward and walk away. In that order.
So parents, take note, because when your kid picking at their nails, it's because they being nosy.
Yes, exactly.
That was so funny.
Most children will try a parent and they want attention when a parent get on the phone. Yeah. They do their not normal.
Right.
Mom. And during a conversation with another adult, that becomes annoying. Would you stop? No, you can't have that. I said no.
Frustration starts to sneak in on the parent, and then they just started smacking and doing all this crazy stuff instead of staying calm and having addressed that issue. Yeah. Once parent gets frustrated.
At that point, a parent should say to that child, I am on the phone. It is very rude that you are talking to me. What if you want to write me a note, you can write me a note, but please do not interrupt me. Unless, and this was my focus that I used to say to my daughter, do not bother me unless you are bleeding from a part of your body you're not supposed to bleed from.
Yep. Sound just like daddy. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And because kids, you know, and it's these little things, it's funny, right? But it's these little things that are part of training a child, you know, and I don't understand why young people are so offended when we say stuff like this to them. You know, like, I don't want to talk in front of your kids.
Respecting space.
Right.
My daughter has come to me and said, Mom, thank you for teaching me how to respect your space.
Right.
As a child, my daughter used to like an hour-long bubble bath. Me, I used to like what I used to call my meditation, which was a herbal substance from Mother Earth. And
back in the day.
And reading. Now, during that time, I wanted my Musa mama time.
Yeah.
And she could not cross a threshold.
Yes.
So I had to learn her. Look, when you're getting ready to take your hour bubble bath, announce to the family that you're getting ready to take your bath. So give us time to go use the bathroom. That way we can respect your space for your hour and not knock on the door.
That's everything. And
so she's telling me thank you because her significant other is learning how to respect a space because he was never taught.
Yeah. And then that is the next thing I'm going to go into is when we teach them small, they go on and teach these things later to their children and the people who they extend, relationships and family to. But it starts with us. It starts from home. And that's what young people have to be.
It doesn't start in the school system. It's not the
school's job to...
It doesn't start in the school system.
Right.
It starts at home.
Absolutely.
When my daughter had her twins, I told her, I said, baby, just like I did you and made school fun for you, I want you to do it for my grandchildren. While they're 1, 2, and 3, get them the dotting out alphabet books where they can start tracing. Start teaching them their alphabets Start in the house.
Yes.
When you're driving, make them look at license plates and call out those letters. When you're in the house, make them look at the shapes that's on the chairs,
Yes.
the doorknob, the window. What shapes are these?
Yes. Yes.
Look
These are
at the
things that
tile
will
on
make
your
it not
floor.
so hard in the pandemic right now. Oh, I can't
When
teach
you're walking,
been teaching. So
count,
keep going.
count, so that when the children start school, they'll have that basic elementary foundation, the basic primary colors, the prime numbers. They would know all of this, so that when the teachers start talking about it, they'll go, oh yeah, okay, now you're enhancing what I know. You're not
Absolutely.
teaching me, you're
Absolutely.
enhancing.
Absolutely. I'm so shocked at how many parents are having such a hard time with this at-home learning right now. Because it's like, you were always supposed to be teaching with the teacher. So
Exactly.
I'm not getting why this big disconnect.
I can tell you why. Because a lot of parents that's 20 and some 30 believe in their minds and in their hearts, that's that teacher job, to teach my child how to say or write or spell their name.
Yeah.
Your child should know your full name, not Mama or Net.
Pookie.
If your name is Anita, your child should not know Net.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, heck yeah. Look, we had some names back in the day.
Woo, yes.
Ooh,
I
we had some
remember
street names back in the day.
Gert.
Oh my God. Don't
That's
know.
the name. Where do you get Gert from? It rhymes with dirt, but Gert.
Oh my God. God bless them wherever y'all at.
Yes.
But yeah, we had some. And no, you do not go to school saying my name is, whatever your nickname is. No, that's a big no.
When I was teaching, and that was one of my things, one of my programs I used to run. What is your mother's name? What is your father's name? Does your father have brothers? Do your mother have sisters? I was teaching about extended family. Do your father have stepbrothers? Is your father remarried? Do your father have any other children beside you with your mom? What are their names?
That's a great conversation for kids at school, because our families, everybody's family, they're so blended now. I think that makes a kid comfortable, with who the extended family is.
I must say that I grew up with my aunt's husband, and I knew him by the name of Unc. When my uncle became sick and my mother became sick, she says, Leah, that's my favorite uncle, and I want you to get to know Uncle David. I said, who? Uncle David. I said, his name now Unc? I thought it was Unc Devaney. No. David. I knew a cousin by the name of Stumble.
I remember Stumble. Him and Davina.
I didn't know that Stumble name was Robert.
I didn't know that. All I knew was Stumble.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
But hold on. Having said that, that again goes back to the original conversation of that. I knew your extended family. You knew my extended, our community. We knew each other. We knew when family came over. We knew when you guys were barbecuing. We got to know each other at block club parties and that type of thing. We were close.
That was the tight net right there. That was the thread. our block club parties. When I'm driving and I see a block club party, chills go through me
Ain't it?
because
Oh,
I
man.
know what that's about.
Yeah, so much fun. So much fun. We had the best block club parties.
Yes.
Back when me and Belani, just good time.
Unforgettable.
Good time.
Unforgettable.
And all the parents came together and barbecued. All the parents came together to get the inflatables and the.
But that was the one day that, see, what you don't understand as a child, that was the one day that I knew that I could run because
from one end of the block to the other.
Right. I only could go to one. I stayed in the middle of the block. So I only could go to my left, which was your end of the block, because I had an aunt that stayed across the street from you.
Yep.
I could not go to my right. My mother didn't know the people down there.
Hey, as far as I could go was the park, which was behind you. And when I had to go to the store, then I could go to grocery land, but I better not walk on the side of the tavern. And I had to cross the street.
Me too.
We had rules. We had rules.
Yes.
And we abided by those rules for the most part,
we followed those rules even outside of our parents' view.
Yes. Again, because we didn't want to disappoint. Not just not get a whooping, but we didn't want to disappoint. We didn't want to be the bad kids on the block. We didn't want to be the kids that were going to end up in trouble and all that kind of stuff.
True.
So even back in the day, another good point, which young people really need to understand, is we had gangs and drugs and all that back then too. But I remember gangbangers telling us when we was kids, go on in the house, because it's about to go down, go in the house, and we take off. We took
I
out of that park.
I remember being around a gang fight that was about to break out. And I remember one of the guys said, hey, stop. It's little shorties out here.
Yes.
Let them go.
Yes.
Let them go.
Yeah, the gangbangs don't even know how to do it right no more. They dumb as a box of rocks.
They was
each other.
It was a total different type of gang banging.
Yeah.
Just like I remember one guy was walking down the block and he was like, hey, when the street lights go out, be in. And I remember going in and said, Mom, the guy said that when the street lights, and she said, okay, baby, when the street lights go off, we'll all be sitting down on the floor. And I said, why? And she said, something might come through the window. And I said, clueless.
Yeah.
What can come through the window? Yeah. Oh, Pam, I'm sorry. That's my baby. I'm trying to decline her.
Okay.
Okay.
I can still hear you, so it's good.
My there baby. Okay. That's she's on her lunch break.
Okay.
And she calls me FaceTime.
All right. Well, we're gonna get ready to cut it on short anyway. But I tell you, I love this conversation, and I would love to do it again. I think it's so good for young parents to hear, what real life was back in the day for us, and maybe snatch out some good little points or tips or things they can start to talk with their children about, or to broaden, their parent community, So let's talk again.
My daughter just texted me and said, don't go outside, Mom, because they're breaking into stores.
Here?
Currently, yes.
Oh, wow.
She just texted me this.
This police thing and all, it's getting out of control.
Yes.
But arrest those officers and they stop all of this. That's all they got to do. That's all they got to do. I'm not mad at young people. I don't want them tearing up mine, but
not arresting the officers. Not arresting the officers is keeping the smoke in the air.
Yeah.
Once they arrest the officers, the dust will settle.
Yeah. The young people are outraged, and I think I'm absolutely outraged. I mean, it's one thing for you to not comply, and it turns into something, but this was not that.
A man that was not resisting.
This was not that.
A man that was not resisting and already handcuffed.
Yeah. I think there was some pre-existing relationship between the two of them there that
Exactly.
nobody is talking about because they used to be co-workers. And
Yes.
I think that the attorney should be looking for premeditation. But
Instead
you know,
of third.
yeah, he should definitely be looking at some premeditated type situation. I don't know why they haven't brought that up, but I mean, at the end of the day, we know why.
Right, exactly.
So that's a whole nother conversation, though. Maybe we'll sit down and chit chat about that.
Okay, anytime.
So glad.
I'm open mind, open heart.
Yeah, me too. I'm so glad to have talked to you today. YouTube, like, share, subscribe to Motivate Mom. Share the video with some parents that you think can take a little something away from what we discussed today. We will talk to Miss Leah Hoskin again.
Old school mom.
Yeah, and hopefully you will have an idea of how to broaden your parenting community in your neighborhood. You know, get some friends together. You guys sit down and talk. You know, do a phone web, exchange cell phone numbers. You don't have to be best friends. You don't have to kick it. Our moms didn't have much in common across our whole block. But what they did share was love and responsibility and respect for each other's children. So hopefully that's what you all walk away with. Get to know the women on your block. Get to know the dads on your block. And
get off those cell phones and get to know the people on your block.
And we will see you guys the next time on Motivate Moms.
Yes. Bye-bye.
There we go.
All right, fam. I'm going to go and call
all right,
my
baby. Call your baby. Tell her sorry I took your time.
Okay. All right.
Later.
Bye-bye.